October 2025 community call. All right. In 2.9, we shipped a lot of, it started as a command line tool, and now there's a number of repositories. So we listed repositories on our homepage here. So we have the traditional Hummingbot client, which is a Python-based CLI tool that you can use to run strategies. We have Gateway, the middleware that helps the client connect to decentralized exchanges on various blockchains. The repo that I think we're most excited about is the API, because the API is kind of like one single API that allows you to spawn multiple clients. We're actually in the process of integrating with Gateway right now, and we think that it can act as like kind of like the command center for trading operations, whether you're an individual trader or you're a trading firm. And the MCP and dashboard are really interfaces into the API. The MCP is designed to be used by AI assistants. We'll be kind of building this out more as the AI landscape progresses, but essentially it should allow you to essentially interact with the API and control Hummingbot using natural language from Claude, OpenAI, ChatGPT, or Gemini. And then the dashboard is the traditional GUI type of interface, but it also kind of serves as the front end to the API and allows you to deploy bots, configure strategies, and so forth. And the Quants Lab kind of fits in because it's kind of like the data exploration layer. It uses the API as well. You can use it to deploy bots and interact with different resources, and you can also use it to interact with Gateway. As I mentioned, Quants Lab is the R&D server, and it basically is a way to import the Hummingbot library and fetch data and interact with the exchange using Python notebooks. You can use like Jupyter. There's actually some really cool examples people have already created using Quants Lab in our last bot camp cohort. So people have created like notifiers, screeners. And so for example, one thing you can do is you can show like Telegram reports. So let me try to pull an example. So basically he used Quants Lab to create reports like this that analyze the liquidity distribution in various Meteora pools. And then he created a report using Telegram that would be sent to him every hour or so. So check out the video in more detail. Other changes that were happening in 2.9 were to Gateway. So Gateway, if you guys may recall, we just finished a big refactor to kind of fit the blockchain architecture better. So now instead of connecting to a DEX, you add a wallet for Ethereum or for Solana, and you can use that wallet across any network supported by those chains, any DEX supported on those chains. In 2.9, we added back the PancakeSwap connector. The connector now supports both the router schema, the V2 AMM schema, as well as the V3 PancakeSwap schema. So you should be able to use kind of PancakeSwap just like you use Uniswap or Radium or Meteora. One of the biggest levers to kind of getting Gateway to perform the way you like is your RPC connection. It makes more sense to kind of start to do a deeper integration with RPC providers. And so in Gateway 2.9, we've started to do this with Helius and Infura. You can still use the RPC. You can just add your RPC node URL. If you want to use Helius or Infura, you can add the API key. So right now, it's kind of like, and you'll probably want to do this because the free plan for Helius and Infura are going to be a lot better than using the public nodes for Ethereum and Solana networks. So I think you'll get a big latency improvement, even just on the free plan, improving kind of like the confirmation pipeline for transactions. Basically, everything you do in the blockchain, you're going to be intermediated through your node provider. The more that we can kind of like deepen the integration between Gateway RPC providers, I think we can give people a much better experience. Gateway, I think the best role it can serve is really just becoming that execution layer for blockchain transactions, where it can expose a standardized set of kind of configurations, gas limits, allow you to configure those, ensure you can land a transaction on any DEX or any chain from Hummingbot. I think we finally have the right architecture in terms of chains, pools, and tokens. I also wanted to highlight a couple of things that called bug fixes and other things. We've also actually significantly improved the connector architecture under the hood. So in the past, the connectors were much more coupled to the overall Hummingbot client. in order to allow them to be used in different places like the API, Quants Lab directly, and so forth. So Fede spent a lot of time in 2.9 decoupling each Hummingbot connector from the core client, including the gateway connectors. And so now these connectors are much more kind of modular in their approach. A number of the fixes in this release were simply just contributions from devs like Israeli and others. I really appreciate all the work that community devs have put in. Finally, I want to call out one additional thing. We added a new strategy guide. So Grid Strike, it's one of our newest V2 strategies, and it's a more intelligent way to create a grid strategy, which is one of the most popular bot types. This guide explains in-depth, high-level overview of how this grid strategy works, what differentiates it from a basic grid strategy. I actually recommend this strategy a lot for new users who kind of understand how it works, but want to really explore the V2 framework. Because we do think the V2 framework is much better at risk management. Check out the guide. We try to explain how to run the strategy in different scenarios, how to configure the different parameters. Moving on a bit, I'm pleased to announce we're going to come back with live streams every Friday. Stop for a month because we're running BotCamp Cohort 12. I actually love running BotCamp because it gives us a chance to spend a month with folks who are really invested in learning how to use Hummingbot for their own purposes. We basically teach them how to build a strategy. On Friday, in addition to announcing the kind of demo day and showcasing the videos, I'm going to basically showcase and announce the new profiles section, member profiles for each person who's taken BotCamp. This initiative should kind of just help the community understand, showcase all the cool people who've taken BotCamp, provide some proof of all the hard work they put in. The strategy page should provide a resource for the community to identify, strategies they may want to extend or learn from. What we're focused on for Q4 is really just kind of like polishing and making these different GitHub repos work better together. We still need to improve Gateway. For the next release, we'll have some fixes for the CLMM schema. So we might change some of the pools endpoints. On the API side, Fede is currently in progress integrating the gateway into. We're also going to be doing more exploratory work, improve the interface between the MCP server and the API, and also just kind of between the MCP server and various like AI assistants. There's a lot happening right now. OpenAI just had their dev day. They announced like Agent Kit. What's really valuable about AI is that the AI can kind of manage that for you, explain how strategy works, it can help you define the configuration for it, it can help you deploy the bot, monitor it. There's a few new connectors. We have Orca in the works on the gateway side. BitGet should be in the next release. BitGet Spot and BitGet Perpetual. We should have more strategy guides for other V2 strategies like multi-grid strike and the V2 version of pure marketing. We move on to Bounties a bit. Now we're starting to offer what we call a bounty management service for exchanges. Essentially, we're offering a single package, and we will help an exchange build and maintain their Hummingbot connector for 1 year. Initially, take over the exchange part of the relationship and offer a single flat fee. Right now, it's $10,000 to integrate an exchange. Exchanges can contact us, and then we will take over the process of identifying a community developer, assigning it to them, making sure they submit a valid pull request, testing, and then merging it in, and then also making sure the connector works and kind of matches the updates to the API from both the exchange side and the Hummingbot side over the next 1 year. We do have a couple of bounties pending payouts. BitGet connector is almost done, final stages of testing. This is actually a result of the BitGet partnership that was announced, I think, last month. This is one of the first kind of bounties that we started to take over and manage. Thanks very much to G222 for working on the connector. This is a new developer. Excited to welcome you to our community. Thank you very much for Laurent Grauet for fixing the MEXC connector. PancakeSwap, this was done by Vic N. Thank you, Victor. In progress, there's 3 kind of gateway-related bounties we have right now. We also have a number of open bounties for the community that you can pick up. We recently added this one to support adding API keys to Hyperliquid. We also have this other bounty here to support Binance credits. So we're looking for someone, one of these countries facing an issue, who is able to fix the issue. And then finally, we have a few open gateway integrations. We have for Aerodrome, Hyperswap, and Balancer. Every community call, we also try to highlight the issues that people report in the community. We're kind of focused on the GitHub issues related to the new gateway integrations. For example, pool info route for Meteora doesn't work. There are, again, issues with adding and removing liquidity. Opening a clan position on Meteora will fail if you... There was one proposal from the Coins team. This is actually an exchange based in Brazil that pretty much wraps up the call for today. Yeah, there's just a lot of new markets that are being created. Perp dexes, prediction markets, AMMs, options markets. The goal of Hummingbot is eventually to try to support all the large market primitive that exists out there and allow people to market make, arbitrage, fetch data, and just automate anything they want to automate across the market landscape. I'll see you guys next month for November. See us in Discord and GitHub